This comment from last year proves David is 100% guilty. So while people were digging into the David situation, they found this comment by a person named Robin River. At the time of recording, the comment is still up and I can 100% confirm it's real. If you read it, you can see that they knew about David messing around with girls that were not of age all the way back in 2024. Who this Robin person is and how they know this, I don't know, but I will investigate. I'm gonna reach out to them and update you guys if they get back with me.
Y'all, let me tell you, the D4VD situation just took a turn that nobody was ready for. What started out as small whispers floating around fan pages has exploded into one of the darkest scandals the community has seen in a long time. People were brushing it off at first like, oh, it's just gossip. It'll fade in a few hours. But now it's way past that. This is full-on investigation territory, and it all centers around Celeste Rivas. So here's the deal. Over the last few weeks, tiny rumors started bubbling up online. People were claiming that there were strange inconsistencies in D4VD's story.
May be a star witness in the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Till now, it's been a total mystery. Who wrapped her up in plastic and closed her into the trunk of a Tesla until she decomposed beyond recognition? Well, there's a very good chance that the Tesla knows. If you were with us here last night, we listed off all the ways that Teslas record everything that happens around them. And if you missed it, you can check that out on my podcast, Drop Dead Serious. But the 2023 Model Y Tesla is a virtual rolling studio and hard drive all in one. 8 cameras on the outside, 1 camera on the inside. It can tell you who closed that trunk and when that closed trunk happened. It can tell you how many doors opened and closed after that trunk opened and closed for the last time, and it can tell you where the car drove from before it was abandoned. Best case scenario, the car identifies the driver.
Odd gaps in his timeline, and whispers that there was someone behind the scenes who knew a whole lot more than the public did. At first, most fans didn't even blink. After all, celebrities are always being talked about, always having their names dragged into baseless drama. But then Celeste Rivas.
News in the David case. It looks like David might have had accomplices. Why? Because a lot of interesting things have been uncovered in an investigative report. One of them is they interviewed the owner of the $20,000 a month house that David and his manager were renting, okay? And it seems that the owner is saying that nothing could have happened in the house without it being...
Celeste didn't just make vague claims. She didn't just hint at drama. She came with details, with context, and with a timeline that people immediately began dissecting. And as soon as she started speaking up, it was like the internet went into overdrive. Fans started pulling receipts, comparing dates, and even digging up old clips and posts from D4VD himself. Suddenly, the whispers weren't just whispers anymore. They were being pieced together into something a whole lot bigger. Now, here's the scary part. The more people dug, the darker the story started to look. What Celeste revealed wasn't some minor, petty drama. It wasn't about bad behavior at a...
I wonder why Mr. Burke's not in custody right now. Well, just because it's in his car doesn't mean that he's the one that did this. If you look at what happened with Casey Anthony's case, it's not very similar to it, actually. There was her trunk that smelled like a dead body, but there wasn't enough evidence to link her to the... And so until they've got something, they have to have probable cause in order to arrest him. But more than that, in order to bring a case, even though you only need probable cause to charge somebody, a prosecutor has an ethical obligation to not bring a case that he doesn't think he can win beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the standard for a jury. It might seem like a great idea. You know, I'm going to go with this rapper, but guess what you are? First of all, you're a teenager. You don't have any independent means of support. You don't have your own credit card. You don't have your own job. You don't have your own set of wheels. You don't have your own anything. And guess what that makes you? That makes you
concert or some messy breakup. This was about patterns, about secrets, and about things that could actually have real-world consequences for D4VD's career. And that's why the fandom is so split right now. Half of the community is screaming, "This is the truth, y'all, open your eyes." While the other half is insisting that it's all clout chasing, that Celeste is just riding on D4VD's fame to grab attention.
But let's be honest. The internet doesn't get this loud over nothing. Something is happening here. And whether you believe Celeste or not, you can't deny that the investigation around D4VD has gone way deeper than anyone expected. And here's where things really start heating up. People are remembering how fast D4VD's career has risen. We're talking about a guy who went from being a bedroom musician posting tracks online to suddenly being hailed as the next big voice in the industry. His sound, his vibe, his image. It all blew up seemingly overnight. And with that kind of meteoric rise, you know, people are always watching, always waiting for the cracks to show.
In my classroom, in front of this poster right here. Okay, hold up, I got another one, because I got a picture on TMZ of this other kid exchanging stuff with the rapper who we alleged did this stuff. Hold on a second, because he's also in my classroom.
Wait, how long ago was this?
We all just found out yesterday who it was, but she's been missing since I taught her. So when I taught her, she met this dude on social media. He was a rapper in LA. He came and got her. She ran away from home. She was gone for like a month. The cops found her in Hollywood, brought her back to our school. She came back to our school, kind of told people this story. She disappeared again in May of that year, May of 2024. That's when her friends told me what happened, and it was this rapper. And then I found out yesterday that she's now dead in that rapper's car, cut into pieces. You want to know how they met? I feel like I just said it. Social media.
That's why Celeste's words hit so hard. Because when she dropped her details, it wasn't just random fans paying attention. It was the entire internet. Blogs picked it up, commentary channels started digging, and suddenly, the narrative shifted. It wasn't just D4VD the breakout star anymore. It became D4VD under investigation. And trust me, that is not the kind of headline an artist wants attached to their name. Now let's talk about how this unfolded in real time, because it's honestly wild to watch. When Celeste first spoke up, the reaction was immediate. People swarmed her socials, some demanding proof, others showing her support, and a whole lot of fans just sitting there in shock. Then, as more details came out, the internet did what it always does. It started connecting dots. Old posts that seemed harmless before suddenly looked suspicious. Moments that fans had brushed off suddenly looked like they were hiding something darker. And the deeper the digging went, the more it felt like Celeste's story might actually line up with reality. But here's the thing about scandals. They don't just impact the person at the center. They ripple outward. And D4VD's fanbase, which has been so loyal and so passionate, is now at war with itself. One side is defending him tooth and nail, saying Celeste is fabricating everything. The other side is convinced this is the truth finally bubbling to the surface. And y'all, the arguments are brutal. Friendships in the fandom are breaking apart. People are leaving fan groups, blocking each other, and creating threads upon threads just to debate whether Celeste should even be trusted.
And while all this chaos is unfolding online, D4VD himself has been silent. Not a word. Not a post. Not even a cryptic emoji. And that silence? That's what's making things worse. Because y'all know how the internet works. When someone stays quiet, people start filling in the blanks themselves. And right now, those blanks are being filled with the darkest assumptions possible. It's like watching a storm gather in slow motion. You can feel the tension building, you can see the pieces stacking up, and you know it's only a matter of time before something breaks. The question is, will D4VD finally address it and try to shut it down? Or will this investigation keep growing until it swallows his entire career? What makes this even crazier is the timing. D4VD was right on the cusp of something huge. We're talking festival slots, major collabs, and a level of recognition most artists can only dream of. But now his name is being dragged through mud, and those opportunities could slip away before he even gets the chance to grab them.
And let's not forget the industry side of things. Y'all, labels and sponsors do not play when it comes to scandal. They don't wait for the truth to come out. The second an artist's name starts trending for the wrong reasons, deals get put on pause. Money stops moving. Phone calls stop being returned. And with the way this investigation is growing darker every day, you know the suits behind the scenes are paying attention. Celeste's details didn't just shock fans. They shook the industry. And that's why this is so much bigger than just internet drama. This is D4VD's entire future on the line. And here's the cliffhanger, y'all. This is just the beginning. Celeste has hinted that there's more she hasn't even revealed yet. More details, more context, more pieces of this already messy puzzle. And if what she's already shared was enough to spark a full-blown investigation, can you even imagine what else could still be coming?